Okay, 4.1 worksheet 1, transformation and range. So very first thing we're going to do is identify the parent function. The parent function in this case is going to be x squared, meaning we know it's going to look like a u with a minimum or a mountain with a maximum. Okay, then we're going to go ahead and look at the number attached to it by multiplication. That is either the stretch or compress. It is 0.5, which means it has to be a compress of 0.5 because that is a fraction. Then we're going to look on the inside where we have a +1. The +1 is actually, we think, going to the right, but it's actually going to the left 1 unit. Then on the outside, I have -1, which means it is going to go down 1 unit. There is no reflection, so since there is none, this means that we are going to have a minimum value, and this thing is going to be at our vertex. Well, our vertex is going to be going left 1 unit, so that's -1, and down 1 unit. That's -1. So I actually am going to have a lovely little minimum value at the value -1. Okay? My axis of symmetry is always going to be x equals h. So that is going to be x is equal to my -1 value. Now, what does this thing look like? We're going to quickly sketch it so that you can see. I'm going to go -1, -1. That puts me here. I'm opening up. Therefore, my range, I'm going to read from bottom to top. So as I'm coming up the x-axis, when do I run into this? I run into it right here at this y value, at the minimum value. So that means I'm going to start at -1, and I'm going to go all the way to infinity. And I can't include that. Now, another way to write this is going to be y is greater than or equal to -1. Both of those would work. Okay, let's go to our next example, number 10. On this problem, again, I have my parent function, which is going to be x squared. I have a 2/5. My 2/5 is going to be my compress. It is a fraction. My -3 is going to be going to the left 3 units. We thought it's going to the left. It's actually going to the right. Sorry, I wrote the wrong thing. And then I'm going to go down 8. So I have a vertex, right is +3, down is -8. This thing is not reflected, so therefore, since it's not reflected, I still have a minimum value, and that minimum value is going to be at my y coordinate of my vertex at -8. So my axis of symmetry is going to be x is equal to h, which is my 3 value, and now I need to sketch this graph. So I'm going to go to 3, -8, and I'm going to go open up. So now this means right here, I'm going to be at x equals 3. That means I'm going to run this graph at -8. X is 3, -8 here. I am always looking at my y values whenever I do range. Always your y values. So that means I'm starting out at -8 and I'm going to go all the way to infinity. How do I write this another way? I'm going to write this another way by saying that y can be greater than or equal to -8. Okay? Give me 1 second. Okay, I want to do number 7 with you as well. So number 7, what's happening to this function is it's negative, which means since it's negative, I am going to be a reflection. So I have a reflection, which means instead of a minimum, I am now going to have a maximum. Okay? Now, with that being said, the next thing I need your brain to look at is that 4. That 4 is going to be a stretch of 4. I am going to be going to the left 5 units, and I'm going to be going up 14. Okay? Which means I have a vertex at -5, +14. Okay? So if I sketch this, I'm at -5, +14. I am reflected down, which means now I have a maximum at my y value. My y value is 14. And my axis of symmetry is x equals -5, which means now what is my range? Well, my range is going to start at -infinity, and it's going to go all the way to this y value, which is going to be my vertex y value of 14. This also can be written as y is less than or equal to +14. Okay, so I just wanted to make sure that you saw one of the maximum and one with a minimum. So there is tonight's homework. If you have any questions, please let me know.